I want to tell you a story because literally, it was explained to me by my daughter, Kaylin. She said, we have puppies right now. We have a litter of puppies that are about 8.5 weeks. And one of the puppies was trying to get out of the play yard that we have them in. He's the biggest puppy. He's like one of the strongest and the smartest. And he knows how to climb. And so he started climbing. There's like a few that know how to climb and some of them that don't. So there's always like a few that are out running around living their best life and the few that are crying inside of the pen. So Rocky's inside of the pen and he begins to climb out, and all the other puppies are biting his leg and pulling him back down. And Kaylin is like laughing because she's like, they're pulling him back down. They're like, no, don't go. What are you doing? And she's like explaining it to Joel. And it reminded me of this story that I once heard. It's a story I heard a long time ago about the monkeys and the bunch of bananas. I don't know if you've ever heard it. I don't remember exactly word for word, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. Okay, so there was 7 monkeys. Okay, I don't remember the number. 7 monkeys put into a lab. There was a bunch of bananas hanging in the room. They put them into this room. There was a bunch of bananas hanging from the middle of the room and a ladder going up. And every time a monkey would try to go up the ladder to get the bunch of bananas, they would spray every single one of them with freezing cold water. So up the ladder, try to get the bananas, everybody would get sprayed and be freezing and be cold. And next monkey would try, everybody would get sprayed and doused with freezing cold water. So it was not pleasant. They took one of the monkeys out, replaced it with a new monkey. And the bunch of bananas were still there, and this monkey had never been doused with cold water. So he doesn't know that when you climb up the ladder, you're going to be sprayed with cold water. So every time that new monkey would try to climb up the ladder, all of the other monkeys who've experienced the cold, harsh water would run over there and start grabbing him and hitting him and beating him and pulling him down the ladder. And he didn't know why. He was like, what is going on? Like, that bunch of bananas is there. Why can't I get it? And slowly they started to pull out the original 7 monkeys. So there was, they would pull a monkey out that had experienced the cold water, and they would replace it with a new one. That new one would go and try to get the bunches of bananas because it's never been beat up by everybody and it's never experienced the cold water. So it would try to go up the ladder and get the bananas, and everybody would go and punch it and pull the monkey down. And after time, they had replaced every one of those original monkeys that had been doused and sprayed with the freezing cold water. And none of the monkeys that were there in the lab had ever experienced it. But the only thing they knew is that when somebody tries to climb up the ladder to get the bananas, we have to stop them. We have to beat them up. We have to pull them off the ladder because it's just what we do. They didn't know why. They had never felt the cold water, the frigid water. They only knew that that's what we do because that's what everybody has done to me, to this monkey, you know what I mean? So the lesson is we are passed down these mindsets and these habits and these rituals and the way we live have been passed down to us. It's not something that we've ever experienced, but it's something that somebody else has experienced, the pain that they've experienced. They project it onto you. That's why when you're have you ever noticed, if you try to do something new and different, the people around you start acting different. They either, say that's never going to happen. Oh, it's too hard. And they just shoot you down. It's because they've only ever experienced negativity. They've only ever experienced pain. And they've never experienced, if you go to somebody who's super highly successful and has done and taken the risk before of starting a new business, starting a new venture, starting a nonprofit, whatever it is, they're probably going to be way more supportive of your dreams than somebody that is a peer of yours that has a very small mindset. And so that is the lesson. Don't be surprised if people around you try to pull you off that ladder and try to pull you down. And it's not that they don't want you to succeed or they don't want you to get the reward of the bunch of bananas, but they want to save you from the pain. They want to save, they can only see the monkeys that would go and pull the other monkeys down. They only knew the pain. Either the pain of the cold water or the pain of the butt whooping that they got from the other monkeys. They could only see the pain. They couldn't see the reward. They couldn't see that. And so most of the time when people can't support you and people are not being supportive, it's because they can only see the pain and they can't see the reward. They think the reward is impossible because they've never experienced it. So don't be discouraged. Don't be, don't allow it to get to you. Don't allow it to stop you from going after the dream that God has put inside of your heart. So that is my encouragement this morning, this Friday. I hope you have a great weekend.